Jon
from
Reverend The Makers.
How are you?
I'm very well. Jon is broadcasting live from San Francisco tonight.
Do you know what it is, Sam? Right, since Boris eased lockdown, I thought I'm gonna get my trunks on. So jumped in Riverdon, straight out into the sea, swam through Channel, across ocean, through Panama Canal, back up other side, and here I am in San Fran. Borrowed somebody's shirt.
How long did it take?
A couple of hours. Fast swimmer on a big lad, powering through.
Good man.
Yeah.
So Jon is joining me on. So I've now been welcomed into the Pentatonic group family. So I'm going to be the host for some new music podcasts. And Jon is my third attempt, but Jon is the Reverend The Makers going to be the first one that we properly broadcast. So it's going to be good. So anyway, Jon, how's it been? How's life in lockdown for you all?
To quote the great John Shuttleworth, it's been up and down like a bride's nightie. Yeah, I mean, there's good points, right? Because I've got my wife and my two boys here, 5 and 3, and on one hand, that's wicked, beautiful, get to spend a load of time together. On the other hand, it's not so good for creativity sometimes. But my eldest just discovered wrestling. I don't know if you can see that through San Francisco mist, but
oh, is it a wrestling belt?
It's a wrestling belt, and he just wants to leather me all the time. So I'm covered in bruises. Because he wants to batter me and be a wrestler.
Don't talk to Steve Austin.
Yeah, and the little guy, 3-year-old Reggie, he just wants to be a Disney princess. So we've got two different kind of vibes going on.
That's nice,
no,
though.
it's lovely. It's
That's
all
like
right,
my two nieces. One's 5. Is she 5 or 6? 6, and then one's 2. Just come up to 2, but they're so different in personality. Like Scarlett, the eldest one, she's so dainty and pretty and like really sweet. And Olivia, when she was a baby, we used to call her Keith because she looked like a builder, but she's just mental, absolutely mental.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
so I do feel for you. It must be hard. Like,
well, we've turned this garden shed into a little school. So we go down there and do a bit of that, and that's kind of my opportunity to get a bit of music done and talk to people like yourself. I've been doing a few of these Zoom gigs.
I saw.
Well, me thinking me that is, I do my house gigs, and obviously I do my thing where I take people outside after our gigs. And I've got this thing in my head about nothing ever being the same twice. You understand what I mean?
I like
that. So I think if I do them on Zoom, they're unique in some way, and I can talk to people. And I always think people hold on to it and remember you more in their art when it's a bit special. That's me thinking.
I've seen you doing that. It's such a good thing to do, like taking your time out. And I think, honest to God, if it wasn't for you, everyone doing stuff on social media, I'd go insane.
Well, do you know what it is? I've like, without being Bob Geldof about it, I've been trying to pick people who I think deserve it or could do a little cheer me up or thank you if we've done something cool. Trying to pick people for a reason. And I get a lot of direct messages and like some stories. Oh man, it's like I feel a bit like Scylla sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, it's heavy, man. So I'm doing one tonight. In a bit. Yeah.
Nice one.
And I like to mix them up, do them for different kind of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was chatting to the guy that is running the podcast. We were talking about the gigs that you've done in people's houses. Like, what was the weirdest gig? Like, that must be quite weird, just going to set up in someone's house randomly.
Right, so again, you've no idea who your fans are going to be, what sort of people, how much money they've got, what the views are, any of that stuff, right? So I'd like to do them in unusual places and not just do Sheffield, Manchester, Nottingham, London, you know what I mean? Move it around. So I think I'm going to go to Lake District. I got this camper van at the time. My mate's driving me around Lake District. Now, my dad's from Workington, so I nipped in to see my family. I'm going to Whitehaven. I'm doing 2 gigs in one night, one in Whitehaven, one in a place called Ulverston. Both big fans, keen for us to come. Turn up to this one in Whitehaven, right? It's an end terrace on an hill in Whitehaven. It's rammed full of lads and lasses who like love it, bang up for it. They're going nuts in this front room. Somebody gets chucked through front window. Yeah, man. So
through the glass?
Through the glass, yeah. Through the glass. Bang! I'm like rocking it out on the acoustic. Like big lights swinging about. There's about 100
Did you carry on playing?
Carries on playing. Next thing, police turns up. Big riot van, yeah? So I'm thinking, right, shit. So my mate who's got camper vans like, right, leg it. So he legs it, jumps onto this camper van, chips off. We're going to this other gig at Ulverston, right?
What, the same night?
Same night, this, yeah. Gets down to Ulverston. It's like a Sunday night or something, this. Gets to Ulverston, takes us ages to get there. We don't get there till 11 o'clock. Get in, right? Next thing, they're proper posh, these ones, right? They've baked us some olive bread and brewed us some beer. And there's about like 10 of them. So this is why I like doing them, because you never get the same thing twice.
That is such a great story. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's the thing you don't know, do you? You kind of, yeah. And especially if word gets about as well. There could be so many people there. But fair play though, you're really in touch with your fans, which I just love. That's what I love about you. You're like a real, it's like a family.
Yeah, I think you've got to keep that connection. You know what? While you were chatting, you made me think of another one actually when you were saying that. I went to Cardiff with a right windy night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking, what am I going all the way to Cardiff for, my mate? This lad's like, we're going to have the gig in my flat. It's going to be a party. Now, if I put a gig on in Cardiff, I'm not saying I'd sell like football stadium art, Millennium, but I'd get a few down. I'm not struggling. So this geezer's like, don't worry, I've sorted it all. I'm like, yeah, but all right, sounds. So I'm thinking this is getting a bit weird. This. Get to Cardiff, he meets us, this lad, takes us through back of this pub. Thinking, well, I hope he's not like tried to put a proper gig on. We don't sell tickets. Like, that's not why I do it. He's like, yeah, don't worry, everything's fine. I'm like, right, why are we in a pub? He went, well, I didn't want to have a gig in my house. I'm like, yeah, but that's why I'm here. He said, well, I didn't invite anyone. I said, what do you mean you didn't invite anyone? He went, just wanted to meet you. Thinking, nah, this is weird. This is how like people get like bumped off or something, isn't it? So me and my mate shinned it off at back wall at pub and went off. Get off.
That does sound really creepy. That's like, that's like the story. You've got to be really careful, I suppose. There's some weirdos out there.
Yeah, so that went.
Real weirdos. Oh, but John, all this cancellations and stuff. What festivals and stuff were you supposed to be playing this year?
Well, luckily, we weren't doing that many. We decided we were going to try and take a year off doing, because we do festivals all the time.
Yeah.
Like for the last 10 years, you need to have a year or two off, because otherwise they just start like bumping you down or trying to get your money. You know what I mean? Thinking, have a year off. Just give people a break from it. Yeah.
Oh, but you're amazing. You're such a festival band. I saw you at Wonderful last year.
We've become that band, haven't we? That festival band. So.
No, but that's good in the best way. Like, you get the crowd proper bouncing. I saw you at Why Not? That was the last time I saw you last year. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was good, that, weren't it?
It was absolutely brilliant. And then, Mikey from This Feeling, shout out to Mikey, what a legend. Mike, I got a wristband to go backstage at Why Not? But I was just wandering around for ages by myself, and I was like, nah, it's better out the front. So I just stayed out the front. But I really appreciate it. But there was no one around. I was like, where is everyone?
They get like biblical bad weather sometimes at Why Not? And it makes it amazing, because if it gets a bit slippy in mud, it's amazing.
Oh, last year we left early on the Sunday because the rain was so bad.
Yeah, I like a bit of that.
I was in the tent thinking, is it going to stop? And it was like 3 hours later, and I was absolutely drenched to the bone just walking back to the car. But I missed Foals, I missed loads of stuff on the Sunday, but it was still good though. That was the weekend. Do you remember that really red hot day last year when it was like 50 degrees?
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm a bit gutted about. Is this year there's none of this, is there? It's all gone, isn't it, man? I'm just dreaming about being at a Fezzy Me.
Me too, man. This was supposed to be my first year at Glastonbury.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I was so excited.
Well, we only had Neighbourhood Festival in. That was the only one we had in, and it was like.
I was supposed to go.
Well,
that was supposed to be this weekend, wasn't it?
Laura, do you want to say hello to Sam?
Oh.
You know Laura, don't you, Sam?
Hi, Sam. You all right? I'm all right, thank you. How are you handling life?
Do you know what? I'm just taking these days. It comes, to be fair, Laura. It is what it is.
I think that's an excellent mantra.
Yes. I think that's what we've got to do. You well, my darling. How are you enjoying San Francisco?
Oh, I love it. You know, I mean, it's great. The bridge is a bit wobbly, but other than that, we're good. There's some rude boys killing themselves upstairs, so I might have to go and sort that out.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, it's lovely to see you.
San Fran.
And I hope that the October thing's on and we can catch you all.
Yeah. See you soon.
Good luck. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, well, we've got to. It's because it's right on bedtime, you see. So normally I'm story man on. I'm telling them a story.
No.
But yeah, they've got a bit of scrapping going on.
Oh no, that's the trouble, isn't it? I used to fight with my brother so much when I was a kid. Like lobbing. We used to get like missiles, like anything we could pick up and chuck at each other. Yeah, you got it all to come as well. They're only 5
Well,
3, so.
I'm obviously like me and my brother. I don't know if you know my brother Chris, but
I know your brother.
yeah, he's a bit of a legend on the old scene, isn't he? But
He's a legend.
me and him have scrapped for like all his life, like some bad uns.
Is he as tall as you?
Is he as
you're
tall?
pretty
Is
tall.
exactly the same. Shall I tell you a little story, a little rock and roll story? Yes,
I love your rock and roll stories, mate. You crack on. I love them.
When we supported Oasis, the last night of the Oasis tour ended up me and my brother trying to kill each other with Noel Gallagher in the middle trying to stop us.
No way!
Now, they have to think what that looks like because we're big, aren't we? And he's like not as big as us, but let's say.
But he's commanding.
Well, we tried to, me and our Chris we've had so many bad fights, me and our Chris. A lot of them, right? As much as it's sad to say, they're about FIFA. Now, when we were younger and like somebody had like, you've cheated or something, you've changed my buttons or something like that, and next thing like just hit them up a head with a controller or something.
I want to chat to you about like this whole radio thing that's going on. You got on Radio X, didn't you, the other day?
I got a what, sorry?
Radio X.
I don't know. Do you know what? I've given up even thinking about radio.
I'm just interested in like why you're one of the biggest bands of our country over the last 10 years, and I really don't understand.
Because it didn't look like that would be the case about 5-6 years ago. Looked like we might be finished, and so nobody backs you. But what weirdly we've kind of carried on doing all right, even doing better, and that's one reason. Second reason is I'm dead mouthy, so they probably at some point I've said something that's pissed them off.
And you're mouthy, but you're lovely. That's the thing. You do.
Yeah, but
you get into so much shit, and I'm like, but Jon is just so lovely. Stop.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've met me, yeah, and you've been around me. A lot of these people, they don't. So all they see is probably Twitter or whatever. It's easy to think somebody's a dickhead. I've got mates, for instance, so if I went off the social media profile, I'd think, you're a right knobhead, you. And I know for a fact that they're lovely. So maybe they've got a bit of a bad impression. Why don't they play his music? I don't really know. But weirdly...
Fuck him, Jon. Fuck him.
Well, it's kind of helped us in some way, because I feel like a lot of people back us because we're underdog. They like it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is really, but I don't know. I think we're old-fashioned in so much as like we're dead good live, and that's our bands used to be. Honest
God. And if anyone watching this back, if you've not seen Reverend The Makers live, you are one of my favourite bands to watch live. It's just ridiculous. You're just meant so good.
Well,
it's
I think like
it's just so good.
That's the true measure for me.
And me as well, definitely. Yeah. Like you've got to have a good presence, and I think like anyone that could not have heard one song of yours and can turn up to a set at a festival and they will have the time of their life. It's just so bouncing.
I have to say
it's
as well.
So good.
I have to say, I feel like the best thing we're going to do is in front of us, and while ever I feel like that, it enables us to carry on trying to get to it. Whereas
it's
I feel
a good
like
mindset.
A lot of bands. We don't need to name names because lots of bands are like this. Or maybe even a majority of bands. They feel like the best thing they've done is behind them. So while ever they feel like that, they're kind of just churning it out and they can't really be... I'm like trying to get to a place. I don't even know what it is or where it is, but I'm trying to get to it all the time. Like trying to write...
That's a really healthy mindset though. Because at the end of the day, no matter if like maybe 10 years ago you sold more records than you have this year, it doesn't matter. What's been is gone. It's like a constant. I always see life as like a conveyor belt. Like you're just constantly going in that direction. There's no point in worrying about back there. There's fuck what you can do about it.
It's the gigs, really. I want to play like bigger and better gigs, and I feel like we're doing it. We're getting to it. You know what I mean? And like, you want to kind of feel like the next record you make is the best record. You've always got to feel like that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, like, what are you doing? Get yourself. There's so many bands who've sold infinitely more records than us, and they've played football stadiums, but for whatever reason, they're gone. They're gone. And here there's us who've like never played in Champions League, Sam. You know what I mean? Always been mid-table, but like...
No, I don't think so. In my mind, me as a fan anyway, I've always been a huge fan of yours. You're one of the biggest bands for me.
Well, do you know Richard Hawley, yeah? He said to me, he's like, because he's older than me, yeah, so he's like, he occupies a bit of a sort of big brotherly type role in my life. He advises me because he's done everything I could do before. You know what I mean? Richard Hawley, man.
Look at wise owl. That's lovely.
No, he's the king, isn't he? And he texts me over. He texts me over the week, and he says, "Listen, better bronze forever than gold for a week."
I completely agree, actually. But the thing is, you still get the buzz of everything else. And I think, in almost in a way, if you do have like 5 minutes of fame, and then you come back down again, I think it must be really difficult. Like, just for instance, like Razorlight, just for instance, they literally went like, they were so popular for ages and ages, and I didn't even know until 6 months later, last year, they released a new record. Like, it went completely under the radar.
Yeah,
so it must be really difficult.
Well, yeah, and I think, like, do you know what the thing I'm most proud of is not having a hit or not getting signed in the first place. The thing I'm most proud of is that my last tour was my biggest tour that I've ever done. That's what, and having that longevity of like 15 years or whatever we've been doing it now, I think it's mad. Like, my kid's 5 and he knows all the songs, and like, he'll be going to his gigs soon. You know what I mean? Like, my kid. Mad. So,
that's so cute. Do you ever, obviously when I met you before, the kids went there, but do you ever take them with you to the gigs, or no?
They've only ever been to see us play at Tramlines Festival, because it's near enough to an acceptable sort of time for bed and all that sort of stuff, because I don't want what we do to disrupt their life, you know what I mean, like, too much. So they stay with like our parents when we go away playing gigs. But they've been to Tramlines and they were both stood at stage and rocking out, had headphones on. They were like going nuts, and we took them on shoulders. So there's like 40, honestly, I got pictures of it, and there's like 40,000 people, and then me with like my kids on my shoulders.
That's brilliant. I remember being at Wheels and Fins and watching you from the side of the stage. That was unreal. It was such like nice weather as well.
The Libertines one, innit?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We had a mental night that night, because we went back to this really weird hotel.
I was at the same hotel.
Did you see him, Bran from Game of Thrones? He was there. So I'm like, off me nut. I've been like.
Was that the hotel where the Libertines stayed at as well?
It's like an old green thing.
It was a really weird hotel. We had this like really weird after party, and it was just really weird.
So it goes up to these people who I know, like managers, and then this lad who like works with my manager. There's this geezer with him, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, I know you, don't I? He's like, yeah, I know you, man. Big fan. I'm like, fucking know you. My mate just goes, fucking Bram from Game of Thrones, innit? I just embraced him. Why
was he there? That's a weird
I've no idea. But like, you know, like, you just imagine him doing them like mad eyes, what he does when he's in program, can't you? Like Wogan or some shit. And I'm like just staring at him for it. So yeah, had a weird night. And Ian McClure.
I ended up staying awake with a few people, and Andy Hopkins from The Enemy, you know, the guitarist, until 2 p.m. the next afternoon.
Oh, that sounds disgusting. Oh my God. It was a great party, that. Ian McCulloch were telling me a story about a man with 2 dicks.
What?
Yeah, I've never met him before, but I know loads of people who know him. I'd never met him, and he was like, we need to chat, me and you, because we've got loads of mutual friends. And he just, I don't know, the next thing he's like, yeah, have you ever heard about that man with 2 dicks? And that was it. You were telling me that. You know,
sounds like a dreamboat, to be fair.
What a great story. Oh, man, 2 dick man. Yeah, I know, imagine. Imagine being that guy.
That's brilliant. But yeah, it's weird. You get those nights, don't you? When you wake up the next day and you're like, because that night we shared a taxi home with Pete and everyone, and Pete was led on the floor singing "Fuck Forever," right? And I was holding on. I was like dog sitting for him that day, so I had hold of Zeus and is it Narcos, the dog, in the back seat, and then Pete was led on the floor and opened the door to this like people carrier, and bloody Zeus fell out the door. So I was like this, like dragging
They're like wolves, aren't they? Them dogs.
Yeah, they're huskies. They're really strong. So Zeus like tried to jump out the car. So I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was just one of those nights. I'm like, that is just the most rock and roll day ever.
It was a great festival. That we had a good. I was a bit sad to leave, actually. There's a bit of a scene in Margate now, isn't there? A bit of a rock and roll thing happening down there.
Yeah, it's coming back. It is coming back. So, a little chat about. Are you into any new music at the moment, Jon?
I've been listening to that. Been listening to that Sleaford Mods new thing. What's come out this week? The kid from the Lathams. I like his voice. What's he called? That boy.
Alex.
Singer. What a lovely voice he's got.
He's amazing. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Like his voice. There's a girl called Billy No Mates who's been doing some stuff that I like.
Oh, I don't know her. You have to send me a link.
She's really good. Yeah. Production and loads of like mad vocals and stuff, and like loads of hooks that like, I don't know, like, you know, like I think there'd be choruses in other people's songs, but she's just got
send
these
me
little
that,
bits.
because I'm always really conscious that I don't promote enough women. I don't differentiate, but I'm always really conscious that I need more women, like more women.
Well, I think guitar music certainly has become very much the preserve of men, hasn't it? Or maybe it always has been, you know. And I think outside of guitar music, there's probably more women, but within guitars, I mean, there's a band called the Sea Monsters. Have you heard them?
Yes, I have. Yeah, really good.
They're Sheffield, and I like them. I think they're kind of cool. There's loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff. I did a playlist actually. I should send it you. Been some new things that I've been listening to.
Yeah, please do.
It's so tough now for like bands to get to a critical mass. You know what I mean? It's dead hard for the minute.
The thing is that there's so many people making music. It's so difficult to get a break, because there's so many amazing people out there, but because there's so many people all trying to get noticed, it's really difficult to know. But like you said, it just takes one little thing to get noticed. There's a kid called Tom Smith. He's
Tom Smith, yeah.
Do you know him?
Is he Tom Mouse Smith? Is that him?
That's
Tom Mouse Smith, yeah.
He's incredible.
How old's he?
16.
I feel like is he that one who he were a bit of a child prodigy when he were like 11 or 12 or something? Is that him? Same dude?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like some sort of like, you know, like Mozart wrote a symphony when he was 6. I'm sure Tom Mouse Smith's like some childhood prodigy or something.
Like, there's so many bands that I could talk about, but for me, like the last week he sent me some like secret music stuff that he's written, and I'm like, how the hell are you 16? Like, I'm absolutely blown away by it. It's incredible. But yeah, it's just really difficult. It's really difficult trying to, I don't know, there's so many bands that I want to try and promote, and I'm always trying to promote everyone. Like, if anyone messages me and says, oh, can you listen to this, I'll always listen to it, always retweet it and stuff. But it's really difficult to know like who's going to go really, really far. It's because there's just so much new music going on, which is great.
Well, I think bands are lucky to have people like yourself, and also, like you mentioned, Mikey from This Feeling, and people who like give a shit. That's the thing, innit? That's what I think like it needs. It's just, I wish there was someone out there who were going to like come out with some game-changing music, you know. I feel like we need someone to just step up and smash it. I don't know who it is like. I'd happily be like an old fucking veteran by that point. I'd be like, fine, come on, someone come and, like, you know what I mean? I think like it's, especially after all this Corona stuff, my mate was saying to me, you're going to have like a period where there's not been any music recorded by bands. They'll be producing music so people can still do it in lockdown, but bands can't really record at minute properly, can they?
No.
So you might get this moment towards the back end of this year where there's not much new music like coming out, you know what I mean? Because of lockdown and Corona. So I wonder whether it like presents an opportunity for someone to do something interesting. I don't know, you know.
Thing is, though, I always think now, has everything been done now in terms of music style? Like, has every base been covered? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've gone through all these eras of music. We finally reached a stage where, unless you're like totally out of this world, it's always like, are you repeating yourself or copying? Well, not copying, but obviously everyone's got an influence, so it's really difficult to come out with like a new sound and something that's gonna revolution of music again.
Artificial intelligence is just that thing. I think the retromania, Simon Reynolds calls it, and this is the idea that pop music's become obsessed with its own recent past, and like even the Renaissance had a fucking decency to wait like a millennia before ripping off Roman classics, and never before has there been like a popular movement that's been so obsessed with its own recent past as pop music. You understand what I mean?
Interesting.
And
we should bring back like the old, like going right back in musical history.
Well, Sheffield was the last place, or not the last place, but one of the last places that tried to actually do the future with Cabaret Voltaire and Human League and all them electronic bands that were like quite futuristic in and of itself. You know, it were obviously linked to Kraftwerk and the German thing, but like Jungle grime. People say grime like that's the latest, mutation of music.
Are you a fan?
Of some of it, but like Eskimo by Wiley, he's 18 years old. If it were as a person, it would be eligible to vote by now, as would dubstep. So my point is that these long kind of, they call them future shocks, don't they? Where like first time you heard jungle, first time you heard funk, first time you heard Jimi Hendrix, first time you heard like acid house, first time you heard.
Yeah, exactly.
The future shocks are happening less and less, and when they do, they're only little leaps forward, right?
Point. Yeah, exactly my point. Have we got to the stage where we can't do any more unless it just goes totally bonkers?
AI is the thing. Somebody just needs to do some good AI, so everything's written by algorithm, but it sounds mint, because it'll terrify people.
Actually, there's a guy, he's called, I want to say his name's Sean Buckley, I'm not 100% sure. He's got this album, and it's literally just sounds. And it's like, he's written it, but based on like feelings. So when you listen to the song, it's just like a load of feelings. So I think that could be right. But whether it's something that's like a mass catch on, I don't know.
I've been doing a lot of work with the University of Sheffield in this area. So I'm hoping we might have something to show the world soon, but kind of want to put it in the hands of like someone of other artists, who can, because what you feed these neural networks, what ends up influences what comes out the other end. You know what I mean? I feel like if music's going to become decided by committee, as the radio stations are, or algorithm, as the Spotify playlist are, why not take that to its ultimate conclusion and have the music written by algorithm too? I find it quite exciting, and it scares people.
It's scary.
So I told my mate, and he was like, "That's not real music." And I was like, "That's what they said to Kraftwerk." Fantastic. Let's scare everybody.
Be interesting to see what it sounds like, though.
It can sound like anything that you want, really, because it's an algorithm. But it's just. Would it
be kind of like dancey sound, like a beat?
Anything, could be anything. Depends on whatever you've trained it on, whatever you've played to it, will be kind of influence what comes out. Like anything, like a human brain. But
my mind is blown right now. It's like when you think about space, you think like, when does it end? And then when it ends, what's after that? That makes it's like with music, like that.
Yeah, well, it's infinite possibilities, and I think that's what's probably a lot wrong with a lot of music. People can't think past their own record collection. I'm not saying I'm better than that either, Sam, because I'm probably most guilty of anybody. I'm retro. I do a lot.
No, you're not. You've had so many different styles.
Well, I try, but what I'm saying is, have I really managed to surpass my own record collection? Probably not. And I think the best musicians, the legends, they do that. They kind of. Why do we love Stone Roses? Because they managed to meld 60s psychedelia with the emerging beats of acid house. So they surpassed the record. They surpassed the record collection. Have I done it? I'm not sure if I have. I'm trying.
Thank you so. This is amazing, Jon. This is going to be our first podcast that we put out, so everyone's going to love it.
Maybe we can do like. I mean, I could talk all night. I can. So
me too.
Maybe we'll do part 2 when you've interviewed loads of people and you've run out of people to interview. We'll do part 2. Yeah.
I'd love to.
Great, you're sorted.
Oh, you're a legend, man.
Take care, dude.
You too, and stay safe. And we'll catch up soon. Enjoy your Zoom gig tonight.
Zoom.
Safe trip back from San Francisco.
Yeah, I better get on. I've got to swim actually. I ain't got long. See you in a bit.